of a beat. Check, check. Make sure I come through. All right. Good afternoon. On the microphone, I do what I do. On the microphone, that is the filler phrase. Maybe I'll practice how to turn a new page upon that. Maybe just let the silence speak for itself. Here we go. I'm speaking for my health. Deluxe the name on the microphone, just doing my thing. I notice how cats freestyle. They use their name to take some space as they freestyle. I'm over here just trying to go miles, go much deeper, and I know it's been a while. So coming through one time, warming up the mind. Like it's just the oven when you first start to bake it, to see what comes out, to see that it's made to the right temperature, made for you to get into me as we be free. I do the style to try to make it flow with ease, but it's just getting my synapse going. I got the video game sound just flowing, so I'm gonna level up to that boss level, stay above these devils, check the treble. If my mic sounds nice, please let me know, and if it doesn't, then I'll adjust the dials, cause you know I used to be an audio engineer and I'm still that. That means I got the ear with the facts to make it sound nice in the groove. To showing how I do, how we got to prove, got to live. Open up your eyes a bit to see what's going on as we rock. It's miraculous. So much good going on nowadays, but it's the crime that pays attention, that gets your attention. I'm on the mic, trying to cut the cord from the mention. Here we go, I'm just chilling in the breeze. Sit back, man, we do it with ease. Freestyling so effortlessly, and just tapping into the energy divine. Open up, trying to see what the mind has to say upon this moment. Making sure it's not dormant, cause we waking up. We stay woke, but never broke, cause we bend and build. Here we go, yes, I'm rocking with that still. But not a Superman, I'm more like the Mr. Span, the average man with above average potential. I'm on my mind, on my mental, doing it for the subliminal. But not this, it's more like subliminal and direct uplift to get us out this toxic abyss. No fear, quite clear, I'm on the atmosphere as I rock right here. And it's good to see you this afternoon. Here we go again, another freestyle practice session coming through. What up, y'all? How you doing? How you feeling? I hope you're feeling great. What's good? What's good? So, if you don't know me, I'm Desmond Span, creator of Rhyme Masters. Used to be MC Mine back in the day. And I'm streaming for a little bit today, practicing some freestyling, demonstrating some practice techniques that for those who freestyle, you can try. Just to, again, to always to continue to develop and sharpen and master the craft. Today I wanted to focus on rhyming, and earlier this summer I had this idea of just like ways to intentionally practice rhyming, and it actually kind of starts with making rhyming lists, right? Just thinking of words that rhyme with whatever sound and actually kind of putting it together, and then using something like a rhyme zone or rhyming dictionary to expand that rhyming vocabulary and try to get to new places. Because if you freestyle, one, let me know if you freestyle. So if you're watching this right now, let me know in the chat live stream, or let me know in the comments. Like, are you a freestyling MC? Or do you, are you a freestyling off top MC? Because we know there's a lot of this. There's a lot of freestylings being written on phones. We know there's a lot of verses that don't have a single topic, and we call those freestyles. I understand that. But let me know if you freestyle off top, if you improvise rap. Let me know, because I get the sense we're a dying breed, man, or maybe it's coming back. I feel like it's coming back. I think it's coming back, but I don't think people show it enough, because I don't know why people don't show it enough, but maybe you know, maybe you have some ideas. Why don't people freestyle off top more? Or why don't we see a lot more of those videos being posted online, shared on social media and whatnot? Anyway, so getting into what this is about, I'm focusing on rhymes today. I'm focusing on just putting, I'm going to focus on single syllables, and I'm actually going to focus on something I noticed a lot in my freestyling is, and maybe you've noticed this too if you've been watching these streams, that I like to rhyme the long I sound. So I say mind, it's like lines, grind, like there's a whole list of words that just kind of come up when I think of mind, but there's kind of a repetitive few that I often use. So I want to take some time to actually just make a list as far as just practicing, kind of slowing down the rhyming process. Make a list of just words that kind of rhyme, and I have the rhyming word there in the top corner, minds. I don't know how if you can see it. And then I have just basically letters that kind of signify consonant sounds, similar to the rhyme scales I've talked about in previous videos. So what I'm going to do is just kind of like generate rhymes, just make a list. So when I think of B sounds, so I get like bind, blind, and let me see, obviously mine, so I'm going to leave that one there. There's mine like this. Do some slant rhymes in there, might. And for that case, I might throw in blight over here and bite. All right, line, lights. And I am focusing on single syllables just for now, because you can obviously do this with multiple syllables as well. But for me, just to kind of show this technique, I'm just doing it with the single syllables, where it's just a good place to start. Sign, I think slide, we can get that in there. Slide, let's throw side up there. If you want, play along in the chat, let me know. List these words that rhyme with mind, slant rhymes and perfect rhymes alike. So as you see me doing it, feel free to contribute. It'd be a kind of thing that works here. Now, one thing I'm noticing as I do this, I'm seeing the patterns of words here, so word endings, which is another, I think anytime you can notice a pattern with words, that means there's a relationship that you can use. And I think it's more important to remember the relationships and the patterns to be able to, thank you, Con, I'm going to throw that in there too. Sorry, sine, and I'll even throw cosine in there as well. It's important to remember, like, my goal is not to remember this whole list and have it in my head. I mean, I'm pretty sure somebody can do that. But I think of it as it's important to do this and kind of go through this exercise to notice the patterns. And then in the moment of freestyling, instead of me trying to think of a single word, I can start thinking of different rhyme endings. Then that will generate another word, another idea, and keep it going. So the mind is interesting here. Calvin's got design. All right, let's throw that in there. Oh, where's D at? D's down here. So design. Yeah, I've said this one plenty of times to define, dine. You got drive in there. There we go. Let's take a dive. And let's see. I feel like there's a singer like Patsy Cline. And I would probably put this incline as well. And then I throw the N and the KN sound together. So we got 9, probably knife. You could probably make that word knife to knife, or maybe even knife with the F. Let's see, wind. Then I feel like all these types of lines. White in there. I could throw wife. And then, oh, yep, we can't forget about the knight, as well as the knights. Both forms of that words there. The visualize. Ooh, I'll throw that under the L. So, and so I guess what I'm doing is I'm focusing on the last syllable. So even for multi-syllable words, it's the last syllable that I'm focusing on here. Let me see. Very helpful in the chat, y'all. Appreciate that, Connor and Calvin. Height. Yes, let's get height in there. Where did my H go? Down here. So we got height. Oops, I didn't always do that. Then hi, hello, right. Grieve. I don't know about, I see, I'm saying it grieve. I don't know if I would say it as grive. I don't know if that's, maybe that's said in there. Let's see. Tight. How can I forget tight? I'm pretty sure I said it a lot. And time, there's words that end with time. I can't think of anything right now. There's definitely time. Of course, I got to get my classic in there, grind. And then, let's see, like gynecologist, that could be in there. I'll just spell it like that. For gynecologist, let's do that. Grab, oh, so has a different definition. Okay. So I was curious. I'll have to look that up. So, grive. I'm going to put that in there since I don't know what it means. I probably won't use it in the freestyle. I might use it in the freestyle like, yeah, it's something that rhymes with grive. Or I don't know. Grime. Grime, yeah, we got grime here. We do that. Grimy, all that. So we get the idea, and you know, obviously, like if I was doing this by myself, I wouldn't have your help here. So I would have like, I would be going through the process, like literally rewiring the parts of my brain that think to make these type of connections, and doing it in a slow way with less pressure of like trying to freestyle in the moment, make some meaning. So it's a deliberate practice of that actual act of generating rhymes. So you can take a concept like this and like do this every day. 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, however long you want to spend on it, and just make a list of rhyming words, just seeing what you can pull up, just to practice that act of generating rhymes by itself. Because just like in sports, the ability to like really isolate the different parts of a skill to perfect its movement, it's the same thing I'm saying here. It's like when you're freestyling, you want to perfect certain mental moves to keep you, so you're not always having to wonder like, okay, what rhymes next. And what I'm trying to do with this here is another little tool of it is like, is that I actually want to take the time to realize like, oh, these are all words that I actually have access to, meaning I know what they mean. And so I bring them more to the forefront of my awareness. So that way, the next time I freestyle, which will be here in a little bit, it will basically be there, right? Again, for those of you that do freestyle off top, you know what I'm talking about. When let's say it's been a week or longer, and you start rhyming, and then it's like you only keep producing the same, Rolodex of rhymes. So this is a way of like refreshing your Rolodex to bring up things. So there it is, Clementine. All right. Before I jump back in, let me just check in the chat, see what's going on. Prescribe. Ooh, I like I like that one. I tend to like words that. Do I not have P up there? What? I don't have P up here? Whoa. How do I not have P up here? All right. New category. I'll fix that. Prescribe. And then scribe too. I think I might make a new category though for just like the consonant words that kind of get put together. Like, I might have like a TH column later on. But yeah, prescribe. I'm gonna throw that in there. So let me see. Zach saying, seen you years ago, man. Much love. Appreciate you, Zach. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of that, man. People, I'm like a blast from the past. I'm like a 90s spinoff right now for people. Remember back at MC Mine? Yeah. Got more facial hair now. This is my second set of locks, by the way. I've shaved and then brought them back again. All right, let's see. Kind of was saying, not sure if you have touched on it already, but I was planning to. But how do you generate meaning to your bars on the spot? I can say rhyming words, half rhymes for a long time. Any tips? Yeah. And then Calvin provides the meaning of grive means a piece of armor worn below the knee, as well as a knee and brush. Oh, okay. Kind of like a shin guard. All right. Excellent. Connor, I'll touch on it a little bit because there's a couple thoughts around it. I mean, I'll put it this way. I teach from my own experience in the sense of like, yes, I teach and I coach people, but then I can only really give you the insights of the exploration that I've done with it and kind of like paying attention to my own thinking. So to say all that, what I found is like the meaning comes from the context. The meaning comes from like what you're talking about in the moment. And so if you have the rhymes, if you have the ability to come up with the rhymes, then your ability to make them make sense happens by just really kind of explaining the context. There are like, I'm trying to think of like, you know, I think one way to practice it is, so like what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to like freestyle, and I'm just, you know, going to be I'm going to pull from this list a lot. But another video that I did a couple months back where I kept the rhyming words the same, but then I've switched the topic up. And then that way you practice that skill of like, okay, how do I connect this particular set of rhyming words to this new topic? And the thing you have to understand too, that all ideas connect through essentially figurative language, right? So our ability to say something is like something else, like to the basis of comparison, simile, metaphor, all that. You can make, you know, you can talk about pretty much anything you want to talk about with any rhyming words. And there's some exceptions, of course, as far as like there are words where it's in such a specific context that it's hard to like stretch it into another one. Not impossible, but it's a technique. So for sticking to one rhyme sound in a freestyle was a little bit tough. And not because I can't literally just read and go through the words and do it, but I think what I enjoy about freestyling is kind of like seeing where it goes. And so if I were to, couple variations, one variation is I might like have another list, and then I have so many words, but have different sounds that I can kind of just pick from. So maybe do like a number of like 4 different rhyming sounds and 8 words a piece. So maybe like, set up each of these columns with different sounds, and then just kind of pull from that as I need it. But I can also be very deliberate and be like, okay, I'm just going to use these words in this order if I really want to focus on being more the practice of setting up the punchline. And I don't mean the punchline in the sense of like, okay, everything is going to be a joke, but I mean the punchline approach where like you think of the rhymes first, and so you know where you're going to land. I fluctuate in between where it's like either I'll take the word, like you kind of heard it, right? Where I take the word in and then I use that to just generate more ideas. I think I said something about like, and that's where the rhyme switched to something else. When I just took a word on the screen, something like tight and time, and then I say hand, and then I want to rhyme with hand. And there's some times where I would want to be more landing on the fore and rhymey. And so I might focus on these rhymes to just practice that deliberately. So that's kind of my take on that a little bit. Hopefully the chat's coming back. It says it is connected, but I don't know. So, yeah. I think, well, you kind of heard what I think about it. But I'm curious how you do it. How do you practice rhyming intentionally, right? Yes, you can freestyle. Like literally in the very beginning of me learning how to freestyle, I was just freestyling all the time, and I would get in these ruts. Zach, you're still here. I appreciate you. I would get in these ruts, right, where I'm just saying the same words over and over and over, and I just didn't know how to break out of them. And that's when, it dawned on me that I have to practice certain skills intentionally, without getting into like everything that I've created from this but that's the basic principle of my approach of like, there are so many like skills that are at play when you freestyle, right? There's your skill of generating rhythms. There's your skill of generating rhymes. There's your skill of generating ideas, like just coherent ideas to talk about, and your ability to generate rhyme schemes, which combines the rhythm patterns and the rhyme. So these are all skills that if you try to practice, when you just freestyle, you're doing them all at once. But if you set up these little drills and approaches to isolate them, right, or use them in different combinations, then you could begin perfecting each of these skills as you're going along, or mastering each of these skills as you're going along. Because there's no real perfect in all this. It's just more of like, can you be effective on all these different levels, right? Can you freestyle in a pocket with a swing rhythm, or can you only freestyle one way? So mastery that I try to go for and try to guide people to, that I coach, is about being as adaptable within your style as possible. And the isolating of the skills and practicing them is the method of the approach. And so what this was all about was isolating the skill of generating rhymes, and also just trying to, if I wasn't necessarily talking about this one aspect of it, I would go deeper into it about like, okay, let me actually take some time to like encode, like really think of the context that comes around certain words, like visualize, for example. I don't know if you can see my cursor on it. Like visualize is actually one of those words that like, yeah, I should use a lot because I talk about vision, and that's fits my style. And so just to take the time to remember that like mind and visualize can actually go together, and it would work with the range of subjects that I want to talk about, like really taking the time to encode that. So that is the approach there. So, all right, I'm going to turn this off. Let me do one more freestyle just cause, and we will see if we get some, I like doing words in the chat freestyles, but also like just going. So if you want to put words in the chat while I'm freestyling this last time, please do. But before I freestyle, why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because there's a new community, Rhyme Masters Crew community, and it is just taking all this stuff to the next level with other committed MCs who are dedicated to the craft as well as dedicated to their own personal growth, being more creative, more self-expressive, supporting others, putting more music out there, maintaining their practice throughout their life. Like, that's what I want to build with that. So, you know, I'll admit this, I've been a little rambly about it in the last couple streams, and, you know, as I do it more, I'll probably get a little bit more streamlined with it. But what I will say is this, so it's a premium community, so there is, you know, is a cost to it, and we have weekly ciphers, we'll have weekly work sessions where we bring the community together to actually write and work in a time space to get that feedback, share with each other. And so if you're interested in it, go to rhymemasters.com. The link is in the description. You'll see kind of just the landing page that kind of talks about what the benefits are, and then where you can enroll and sign up. It is open now for membership, and then August 21st is when membership closes, and then we will begin doing the work in the community. All right. So to get access to our weekly ciphers, to get access to the work sessions, and then other just daily inspirations, prompts, everything just to keep us motivated, go to rhymemasters.com, sign up today, and I'll see you on the inside. All right, let's do some freestyling, and we'll get out of here. We'll call it a day. Hopefully it's okay. Hopefully we're doing it right. Let's get the beats back. Let's go with this one. Let's see. All right, here we go. I appreciate y'all for being here. A new year, a new day. Every time I get on the mic and just say how I like to display on the microphone these words I just play. So, just trying to get the community together to recognize that it's gonna get better than the storms of COVID and the isolation that's got us all frozen like a stream that ain't getting enough bits. They ain't getting enough connection or enough hits. But that's alright, I still rock for the true. And sometimes the most true happens to be the most few. But we still come through, we gonna do what we do. Have more power than atomic molecules. I'm on the microphone, I stay in my zone. These freestyle poems, that's how I hone in on who I be, how I be destined. And that's why I'm over here trying to get the brethren and sistren to come together as we keep them rocking up for the weather. Yes, we gotta grow, we gotta take it to the next lane, to the next plane. Above these people always trying to say the mundane is what's supposed to be their dreams. But I'm like, nah, that's not supreme, that's not the team, that's not the beam, that's not the scope. I'm on the mic, I don't need to spit the jokes to make you laugh, because joy has like a tickling effect. I'm on the microphone catching wreck and catching heaven. That's the paradox I've read in how I do it. I'm like elevating to another plane. Sometimes I get caught in my own inspiration and the style keeps going insane, like in the membrane. I'm not Cypress Hill, but I still feel what they talk about, cause I still be real. And I'm on the microphone, just do how I feel. I'm on the microphone cause it's in my face. I'm gonna say it one more time, I'm on the microphone to keep the pace. Now, no more microphone talk, it's just me spitting from the heart, from the mind as I walk. Yes, I'm so dope, but not dope that goes in your nose. I'm not dope that you need to smoke. I just be that dope that comes through the odes of hymns. Under wisdom, I keep a rocking like the winds. So listen to the wind, hear the whisperings of inspiration. Here we go, it's just a new celebration. Trying to unite a hip-hop nation across the country borders. Cause you know, they ain't about your emancipation. They more like keeping you in isolation, keeping you work, enslaved to their situation, to make them up higher as we get lower. But that's alright, man, I still rock with solar. Yeah. Alright, y'all, appreciate you for being here. Tomorrow, roughly the same time. Basically, I'm kind of doing this like early, late afternoon slot before I set up dinner with the fam and get back to work on the community. So appreciate you again. RiotMasters.com for more information. Hit me up in the comments if you have any questions. And yeah, again, not about perfection, it's about connection. And I'll see you next time.